Coming up on Network Africa. Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces declares rival government in areas under its control in Sudan 2 years into the war. Gambian former soldier convicted of torture in a rare U.S. trial. Plus, Nigerian Union in South Africa inaugurates a new leadership in Johannesburg. Hello and welcome to the program today. I'm Layo Olarinde. As Sudan marks 2 years since the outbreak of civil war, the paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces has declared the formation of a rival government to counter the country's armed forces. The leader of the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, says the group is building what he calls the only realistic future for Sudan. According to his statement on social media, the RSF is building a state of law and not a state ruled by individuals, adding that his government would provide essential services such as education and healthcare to not only RSF-controlled areas, but the whole country. In the meantime, fighting continues, with the army saying it had bombed RSF positions outside the city of El Fasher, forcing hundreds of thousands to flee the Zamzam refugee camp. On Tuesday, London hosted a high-level conference to mark the second anniversary of the conflict. During the meeting, the UK promised an extra £120 million worth of food and medical assistance, urging the world not to turn its back on Sudan. The conference also called for an immediate and permanent ceasefire, but the African Union has said it will not allow the country to be partitioned by the army and the RSF. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres released a statement marking the second anniversary of the Sudan conflict. Read out by his associate spokesperson, Stephanie Tremblay, the Secretary-General called on the world not to forget the crisis in Sudan.
To ensure the protection of civilians is to end this senseless conflict. The Secretary-General is deeply concerned that weapons and fighters continue to flow into Sudan, allowing the conflict to persist and spread across the country. The external support and flow of weapons must end. Those with greatest influence on the parties must use it to better the lives of people in Sudan, not to perpetuate this disaster. Comprehensive, revitalized, and well-coordinated political efforts are urgently needed to prevent Sudan's further fragmentation. As an international community, we must find ways to help the Sudanese people bring this unspeakable catastrophe to an end and establish acceptable transitional arrangements. Sudan remains a highest priority for the United Nations. The Secretary-General will continue to engage with regional leaders on means to enhance our collective efforts for peace. This will complement the ongoing work of the Secretary-General's personal envoy, Ramtam Lamamra, who will seek to ensure international mediation efforts are mutually reinforcing. He will also continue to explore with the parties ways to bring them closer to a peaceful solution and support and empower civilians as they work towards a common vision for Sudan's future. We must renew our focus on finding an end to this brutal war. The world must not forget the people of Sudan.
All international reports have unveiled harrowing violations in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, much of which was captured by the army in March 2025. The ongoing conflict between the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has now come under renewed international scrutiny, not only as a military confrontation, but as a deeper ideological battle tearing the country apart.
Beyond the front lines, Sudan is gripped by a polarizing ideological struggle. On one side stand Islamists and supporters of the former regime who back the army under General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. On the other, civilian and secular movements, such as the Sudanese Professionals Association, have aligned with the Rapid Support Forces, viewing them, despite their flaws, as a lesser threat to democratic aspirations than the army and its Islamist allies. A report by Sudan War Monitor dated May 15, 2024 revealed that Islamist figures, including high-ranking members of Omar al-Bashir's regime, now hold key positions within the military hierarchy and are pushing to impose a rigid ideological vision on the state. According to the International Organization for Migration, IOM, this ideological divide pits an entrenched religious conservatism against a fragile secular dream, casting a long shadow over the country's future. As the army tightened its grip on Khartoum, international human rights organizations, including the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and Human Rights Watch, documented widespread abuses, some of which were perpetrated by Islamist militias allied with the military. UN reports have also detailed mass violence that has killed tens of thousands and displaced millions, including the reported use of banned weapons such as toxic gas. Amid this ideological warfare, Sudan remains trapped in a conflict that continues to devastate its people and shatter their hopes for peace and democracy.
Well, let's now get first-hand information on what is happening on ground in Sudan. Joining us now is Nasreddin Mohammed. He's a Sudanese citizen. He joins us from Port Sudan to speak about life under bombardment this last 2 years. Thank you, Nasreddin, for speaking to us on Network Africa.
It is my pleasure here with you.
As a Sudanese
also, I'm going
citizen,
to speak those towns. I'm a Sudanese citizen. I was born in the largest state and I studied in Khartoum. Yes, I have faced everything that happened since the beginning. Yeah, the war is something that we need the world to stand and help us. And also, I'm calling the international organizations and also the African Union to start entering this something which happened, especially us. We are facing difficulty of living because here we have becoming a hopeless. Yeah, because we many schools close it, and also there's no medicine, and this displacement is still going on continually, and is especially in the Darfur region. This something which happened is really affected us and will affect our future. We need a helping hand from the international organizations also, because we are in a bad situation. Exactly, we are in a bad situation. Something that happened is really known by every country and every nation, wherever they are. They know what happened in Sudan. It's still happening continuously. We don't know when it's going to stop. But we are calling the international organizations and African Union and International Union to get in this something which happening and to stop the war. We need that. We need everyone to go back home as they were and as we were. Yes, to build our country one more time. This is what happened here in Sudan, and Israel is being watching by everyone, and I know that. And also, when I came to the side of the also something really sorrowful, because here when I see most of the youth, they are dreaming to go outside from the country because they lost whatever they are planning to become in the future. Most of them, they want to Peninsula. They went to the Arabian country. Most of them, they're in Egypt. Million of them. Some other people went to Europe, and others went to America.
Nasruddin.
And we are still living in it because we have a dream to build it and to rebuild it again. This is what
Nasruddin.
happened.
Yes, I imagine you have, a lot to unpack. And like you've mentioned, the war has made a very huge impact in the lives of Sudanese people and your family. Help us understand what, the everyday life has been in the last 2 years since the war started.
And actually, life is very, can say, very bad situations because, people just, they become like just they are working for eating. Even other sites in other regions, they don't even get the water to drink. When we see today, we are afraid to see tomorrow because we don't know what tomorrow may bring. This is what happened and it's still happening things, and it's still happening. And it's something that really affected most of the citizens. It's just hunger. Yes, I think it's hunger. Yeah, because here everyone works to get what to eat. They don't have just hoping for tomorrow or hoping for combination what they are getting, because there is not even work, because even the government tried to get from the citizens, there is no work, and also there is no something that can support others. No choice. Other people make the last decision to go outside from the country, and others stay and eat, but they are staying in hunger, poverty. There's no helping hand and no good health. Children die, and no good medicines, and even the hospitals close it and destroy it in the region of the war. And also, even when you are ill, the hospitals are working. If you don't have money, you can die because they don't have the things of a humanitarian. Yeah, they don't have the things of humanitarian.
It's
This is
quite an
what we are
unfortunate.
facing, especially nowadays.
An,
Still,
an
continuously.
unfortunate picture you're painting there. You mentioned that many people have fled, to neighboring countries. I want to ask you, is there a reason, you are still in Sudan?
Yeah, of course. Just like me, I have a reason that let me not to go out or supported me to stay in Sudan. Because even when I went out, I don't feel like I am at home, and I don't think that I can be free like I was in Sudan. That's why I make a decision to stay inside and to keep doing what I do, no matter what. I
And
think
what is
one
that? What
day
is it you
this
do?
something make
What
a
is it you
history.
do?
That's why.
What is it that you do?
Yeah, I'm student. I'm student. Yes, I study, and also I work, and I'm a content creator, and also this is my work,
So are
and
you are
also
you still
teaching
in
and practicing.
school? Are you still in school at this point? Are schools still running?
Yeah, here in Port Sudan, because I live in Port Sudan right now. Yes, there's school working here. Yeah, but in Darfur, it's closed. But here in other side, it works. Yeah.
All right then. I can only imagine, what you and other citizens on ground are going through. But is that, something that you'd like to say about hope for the future for your country? What do you hope for your what do you hope for your country? I mean, the future of the nation, even as this war continues, and I imagine it's hope for an end to the conflict.
Yes, I hope the conflict may stop, and I hope the war to stop, and every citizen to be back to his home as she was before. And also, the other thing that I hope is I wanted this country to be rebuilt better than it before. But what I have a thing like just in what I have a see like just we have a problem if we do not lay that outside of our heart. It's so difficult for us or difficult for this country to rebuild because we have like a discrimination and also we have tribalism. We just don't respect each other. That's the reason that really most of Africa faces tribalism, something like this. But I hope this country to be like it was and to be better than it was. This is my hope to it.
All right, Nasruddin, just before I let you go, this war is between two factions, the armed forces and the paramilitary RSF. Which government are the people, obeying and following their rules?
Yeah, this is according to where the authority is. Here in Port Sudan, Gaddafi State, and Kassala, and Somalia. Those states, 7 states, or 8 states, yeah, they are obeying most of them, the Al Burhan government, and also on the other side, like Fashir and those states are following the Himiti. You know, yes, where the rule is being respected. Just if I came here, I can say that we are following where the authority is concrete. Here, there, Al Burhan military, and people will lie on that. If those come to this side, and also they will follow them. This is what happened. They are following not because they love them. They are following forcibly. This is what I have understood.
All right then, Nasruddin Mohammed, Sudanese citizen, joining us from Port Sudan. Thank you for speaking to us and telling us about your life in Sudan, even as this war is ongoing. Thank you, and we do hope for an imminent end to the crisis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate the impact.
Let's take a break now on Network Africa. Still to come. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs to shut down its operations in Nigeria. Please stay with us for more details. Welcome back to the program. A former Gambian soldier has been convicted on torture charges by a U.S. court for his involvement in crimes committed while the feared strongman Yaya Jammeh was in power in the West African country. Michael Sankorea was found guilty of being part of a conspiracy to commit torture against suspected opponents while serving under a military unit known as the Junglers. According to the U.S. Justice Department, the torture inflicted by him and his co-conspirators is abhorrent, and he faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison for each of the 5 torture counts and the count of conspiracy to commit torture.
The Nigerian Institute of International
Reaching out to strengthen diplomatic ties is important for the progress of Western Africa and, by extension, Africa. This has become even more necessary given the current global economic realities, which is why the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs in Lagos recently organized the Nigeria-Liberia Roundtable to commemorate visit by the Liberian finance minister to the country recently. Our correspondent Amarachi Ubani reports.
The Nigerian Institute of International Affairs in Lagos has become the meeting point for diplomatic and bilateral conversations over the years. And so, when the Liberian Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Augustine Ngafwan, scheduled a visit to Big Brother Nigeria, it was only natural he would make a stopover at the institute. Attending this special roundtable are senior members of the institute, members of the diplomatic community, and members of Nigeria's business community. In his open address, the NIIA Director General, Professor Ehosel Saigi, recalled his time in Liberia before its civil war, testifying to the resilience and hard work of the people who have always maintained relations with Nigeria.
The slave ships that were seized and arrested on the high seas after Liberia became an independent country had to discharge their human cargo in Monrovia, and those people became citizens of Liberia, and they retained their original names. So having just been enslaved from Nigeria and so on, if my name was Ngozi, I remained Ngozi. If I was Azikiwe, I remained Azikiwe. So don't think when you come across those names that it is Nigerians who emigrated in this present era to become part of Liberia.
The newly elected executives of the Nigerian Union South Africa, NUSA, say their immediate priority is to strengthen community structures and forge partnerships that support and uplift Nigerian migrants across the country. The union introduced its new president and national executive team in Johannesburg, where they also launched the Migrant magazine. The event was held under the theme Uniting Nigerians in South Africa. Our correspondent, Innocent Samosa, brings us the details.
A new chapter begins for the Nigerian Union South Africa, NUSA, as members gathered in Johannesburg for the official inauguration of the organization's new president and national executive team.
I will uphold and defend the constitution, the vision, the core value of Nigerian Union South Africa.
Dr. Sule Yakubu Basi is the Secretary, Nigeria's in Diaspora Commission.
Our diaspora community plays a vital role in fostering connections, sharing our rich culture, and contributing to the development of the world and our homeland, Nigeria. Together, we can make significant strides in various initiatives.
Prince Anthony Smart Nobi is the newly elected president of NUSA.
Our main focus is to have a database of Nigerians in South Africa in order to present them to the South African government and Nigerian government as well, be able to identify the professionals and be able to have them documented, because in a country of this, then the government wants to see who are those people and what are they doing to contribute to our economy. One of our major key priority is to have a database of all Nigerians in South Africa, what they do, where they are, and how are they contributing to this country. The next thing is we are the apex organization of all the Nigerians in South Africa. We want to unite all the state structures of Nigerians in South Africa in order for them to speak through this organization.
The ceremony brought together community leaders, stakeholders, and members of the Nigerian diaspora to witness what many are calling a moment of renewed hope and unity.
Yeah, first of all, we want to see unity. We want to see visibility. We want the leadership of the apex body for Nigerians to be visible, to to interact with both governments, with Nigerian government, also with the South African government, the South African media, Nigerian media. There should be enough visibility.
Okay, as an outgoing president and the first female of the Nigerian Union South Africa, I want to congratulate the new executives, especially the President General and his cabinet. I'm very confident that they are going to do greater exploits because owing to the quality and the profile of the current executives, these are professionals in various fields.
According to the leadership, the inauguration marks a significant milestone in the organization's journey to unify the community. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Innocent Samosa, Channels Television News.
Nigeria's Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nentawe Goshwe, says the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs is to shut down its operations in Nigeria. He disclosed this during a validation workshop at the Anticipatory Action Framework for Nigeria at the National Counter-Terrorism Center in Abuja. According to him, the UN resident and humanitarian coordinator, Mr. Mohamed Fall, had informed him about this decision. The minister describes as unfortunate the decision by the agency to pull out of Nigeria in the face of daunting humanitarian challenges still experienced across the country. However, he has commended UNOCHA for their interventions in Nigeria, especially in conflict-ripped northeastern states. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, is commending the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, AMPA, for their commitment to improving healthcare in Nigeria, even as the body marks its 30th anniversary with a medical mission in Lagos and Oyo states. The chairman, CEO of NIDCOM, Honorable Abike Dabiri-Arewa, has lauded AMPA's consistency and dedication over the years, noting its long-standing impact on Nigeria's healthcare system. In commemoration of its 30th anniversary, AMPA conducted a large-scale medical mission that saw no fewer than 3,000 residents of Ikate community in Lagos State benefit from free medical services. At the outreach in Lagos, Honorable Dabiri-Arewa stated the importance of such missions in strengthening the healthcare system. And that's it on the program for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Layo Olarinde.